Okay, I think I'm here. Hello, everyone. This is Will. I'm from Wednesday with Will. My name is Will Sullivan, and I have this weekly broadcast because I love to meet people and share. And I really started it months ago with the intent to just bring guests who have inspired me onto the show so I can share. Obviously, that's one of my core values. We'll talk about it later. But today, you're not getting a guest. It's just me alone in this apartment with this camera, and I have 3 different devices going and no one here to help me. So if I look a little befuddled, it's because I have no backup. Anyway, so let me set the stage for today. No guest, just me speaking, and at some point I'm going to jump into the comments to make sure that I find comments, if anybody's there, and answer your questions. So why am I doing this? I forget, I don't know about many of you, but I forget at this stage in life, sometimes what I'm talking about in the middle of a sentence. So I don't have anyone here to prompt me or push me the other way. So you get a PowerPoint presentation today. Let me bring my guest, the PowerPoint presentation, up so I can keep us focused. So really my intent here, and if everything's looking right, you see a big logo, and the name of my company is Aspiring Better Human, and I am Will Sullivan, the founder of that company. Many of you watched me, and many of you tune in each week, so you know this already. I love to practice in person. I hate scripts, and I hate things that are, I don't know, too prepared. So I learning how to use these devices, and I'm sharing with you here in public. Aspiring Better Human. That is a company that really was created, my company, created as a nod to the countless people I've worked with over the years. Being a lifelong New Yorker, I've met people who've come to the city who've aspired to be many things. Singers, dancers, designers, you name it, they come to New York City. So as I decided a year ago, and that's a little bit why I'm doing this, celebrating a year since I really started to jump in here and do what I'm doing, I decided that's what I'm going to be. I aspire each and every day to be a better human being, decent human being. I talk about kindness. I will get into that in a bit. Let me move my slides along here. Okay, to keep the conversation flowing and keep your comments going, I may miss some along the way. But what I wanted to do is talk about who am I, right? The elevator pitch. Who is this guy? So I'm born in New York City, and I think that shaped me for the rest of my life. Born into a large family, as many of you have heard. Large family. I had 20-something aunts and uncles and dozens of cousins, and we were kind of the young ones in the family. So I grew up surrounded by people. Shaped me. I couldn't wait to get to be an adult, come into Manhattan, and really start my own life. And boy, what a life it's been. You'll see me talk about numbers. I talk about numbers a great deal, and I did this slide recently. So bullet point number 2, 33 years of my career, 33 of my 40-year career. Now, pause for a moment. This is the moment where everybody gasps and the internet kind of shakes because you can't believe that I'm that age. Wink, wink. Anyway, 33 of my 40 years spent on Fifth Avenue. I started on 34th Street at the old B. Altman store. So any of you who watch Mrs. Maisel or know New York, B. Altman is where I was born. The adult working Will was born. And I made my way all the way up to the Met at one point, and I had different gigs along the way, except for one year that I veered off onto 6th Avenue to Macy's, but that's another episode. Anyway, so I'm born in New York. My family, my big family, pulls me into New York because I love being surrounded by people. And number 3, who am I? I'm a leader who just had to figure everything out with my team, right? Who's born an expert? Who knows how to be a leader? Who knows how to manage? Who knows how to do whatever they do? You figure it out because of curiosity. You're a lifelong learner, and you have people around you. We ain't nothing without people, and I have been surrounded by some of the best people on planet Earth. So that's who I am, okay? Many of you probably know that. Maybe disagree, that's okay. We can each have our own opinion. My what? Let me tell you about my what. I describe myself as a conduit, a connector, and a communicator. I think although I emerged into Manhattan as someone who was quite shy and awkward, not really, really comfortable. When I get to know people, I'm comfortable. But in a group that's new to me, I was, not anymore, but I was quite uncomfortable. So conduit, a communicator, a connector. I was going to throw in comedian because that's something I really want to be, but there wasn't enough room on that line. So again, that's another episode, and we'll get Kathy to come join me to talk about being a comedian. But that's what I am. I love bringing people together. Okay, as a coach, as someone who does workshops, as someone who loves to talk, I really do honestly believe in number two here. I love to watch other people grow. It's just amazing to me. Energies come together, people come together, and if you're really paying attention, you learn more from others than you're actually teaching. I think that's one of the things that is just been amazing. The more you need to know something, the more you talk about it, the more you're curious about it, and just watching energies come together and watching other people succeed, I just love it. It's incredible. And then last thing, my what. We think about what are we going to be known for, right? And kindness is something, I'm always talking about. But it's the kind of kindness that I think is wrapped up in just human decency. And so it's not, I don't speak or use kindness as some sort of cheerleading. Not that there's anything wrong with cheerleading, but it's more than that. It's like a legacy of kindness. Like, what do you want people to say about you when you leave the room? They enjoyed your presence. You were kind. You made the world a better place and the situation a little bit better. Here we go. My why. Why am I doing this? After having such a great career for so long, working for others, I just decided, like many, this isn't just new to me. My why. Not wasting time has become my rocket fuel. So in the last less than 10 years, this last decade, I have been set on fire in such a way that time is everything. Health is everything. The time bit actually started with the loss of my parents, and those of you who know me know I talk about that. So I lost my parents. You move to the head of the line, right? Your generation becomes next. And so that's a fact of life, and it's something that you live with and you deal with. But then the pandemic happened. And so as we're thinking about all the things we want to be when we grow up, and I've thought about the different careers I could maybe have or the different things that I would try, the pandemic changed us all, completely shut us in, shut us down, and we were able to reflect. So that's my why. Time means everything, and I have a mission. I can't fully describe it, but I'm working on it, and it's something that I wake up each and every day. I love to write. I love to share. I'm doing a dozen things. I need to slow it down a bit, but I want to do things that bring light and energy to others. And the more that I can do that, the more energy I get. Okay, number two here, my why. I'm going to confess, I've written an article about this. I talk about it endlessly. I have labeled myself a recovering diplomat. I'm on a mission. And the diplomat thing started with me the day I was born. Irish and Italian parents, right? Mom and dad. I'm born in the middle of two holidays, St. Patrick's Day and St. Joseph's Day. So I was born right in the middle of the two holidays. And from the day I was born, I was called the diplomat. I chose not to enter the world on the Irish one nor the Italian one. And so I grew up diplomat as a title. throughout my career, diplomat, and I'm not regretting being kind or being nice, but I think I took it too far, like many, and I think some of you will understand this as well. I was too far on the people pleasing. And when you're a diplomat, labeled a diplomat, you can never say what you mean. So that, for me, I see that pattern. I did it for far too long. I still will be kind. There's no reason to be unkind or cruel, but I do believe that that term diplomat, you want to really set me off, call me a diplomat. So, hey, Darren, if you're watching, now you've got something on me. Last thing I want to talk about, my why. It goes along with the diplomat piece, shrinking yourself. How many conversations do I have with people where we all have done it? You are taught to be less, be quiet, don't be so out there. And so one of the things that drives me crazy is to watch people dim their light. I absolutely do not believe in that. So that's part of my why. If I can use my presence to help others and help myself, not dim my light, not shrink to fit the room, all power to us all. Now here, let me see what I said next. See, I forget what I'm talking about, even though I went through the practice run here. My life lessons that I want to share with you, right? Here, I absolutely can't imagine not being surrounded by a bunch of people. Right here, I'm surrounded by so many people on this platform. I was the guy who struggled to get 500 connections on LinkedIn, figuring I was going to be bothering people if I requested them. And I'm watching the numbers grow, and the numbers are growing, which is ego and vanity and all of that. But for me, the numbers growing are something that tells me, okay, if I'm talking about something, if I have something that means something to me and others are tuning in and others want it, hey, just give me a microphone, set up a camera. I'm looking at some of the chats here. Erica, hi Erica, how are you? There's Cindy. So there's plenty of people out there know that I'm not shy and I love to be in front of a camera and talk. Okay, another life lesson. We talked earlier about my family roots, my coming into New York City, into Manhattan, and then working on Fifth Avenue. When I left the Met a year ago, I'm a numbers geek and I love numbers, and I calculated out, okay, you worked at the Met, and during that period of time, calculated that from the time I started until I left, the day I left, I did it day to day, because I'm that kind of geek, I realized it was over 150 million visitors who would come into the Met. And that doesn't count the stores we had across the tri-state and around the country and other jobs that I've had. So I was under the impression, up until a few years ago, that my career just kind of happened to me. I took an executive business course at Columbia Business School, and it was one of the most transformative moments because we went through a whole series of exercises and I started to write out my story. I'd started to reflect. And I manifested those 150 million people because my energy and my soul was being pulled in that direction. Well, I thought it was a mistake or just happened by accident. It was no accident. So having that being part of me, all of those people from around the globe, all of the staff that represented a city like New York, I was able to learn so much about people, about customs and weddings and things that one could not learn no matter how many books you read or how many Netflix series you watched. So that's a life lesson I'm sharing with you. And the last thing here I would say is that we all have a voice and we need to use it. Again, pandemic related, I learned being shut in and shut down and not being able to be surrounded by people in the real world and seeing what was happening in our society, started to realize, okay, well, you might feel shy or you might dim yourself a little bit, but it's your responsibility. If you have a platform, if you have a role as a leader, you open your mouth. And that is one of the things that I find the most surprising in this journey, because I'm no longer fearful of opening my mouth if it's something that's going to help others. There goes the old diplomat thing again, right? Before it was always around, be nice, be diplomatic, don't make waves, tone it down a little bit, Will, calm it down. Nope, we're not living in times like that anymore. And you can open your mouth, you can be boisterous, you can have your opinion, always be kind. Remember that. That's a free tip to the audience today. So my life lessons, people are everything, cliche, but so true. My life and career was no accident. I was called to do what I did. So if I could do 150 million people, I can handle the next 150 million people in terms of influence or being surrounded by them, right? Maybe I can't influence them, but if I could be surrounded by them, I can learn something. And then finally, we all have a voice. Use your voice. Let's see what other pearls of wisdom I have for you on my next slide here. And this was the last one I wanted to talk about. Core values. Many of you know that I'm a big fan of Lan Fan and her community of 7. One of the best things I ever did was to join that a year ago and to really be one of those founding members in one of her cohorts. And coming together and talking about people and leadership skills, we talk about core values. And really, my core values I've listed here because I just wanted to use them as an example. So those of you who do not know me or want to know a little bit more, I filter everything I do through these core values. You have core values that are different than mine. It's really what makes you tick. For me, connection's number one. If I'm not meeting people, talking to people, it is just, I just wither away. Laughter, that's the comedian bit that I couldn't fit on the second slide. If I can't have laughter in my life, and if I cannot find that kind of joy in connecting with people on that human level of laughter, and I don't necessarily mean just the haha joke, but you could look at somebody in the eye or just exchange something that's humorous and funny. Kathy, again, I don't know if you're watching, but Kathy, guest Klotz, or Klotz guest, I'm good with first names, terrible with last. She will talk about how humor is human. I just love her. You should follow her. I'll put her information in the comments later. We absolutely have to have humor. I have to have humor in my life. Learning. Okay, this one just should be on everybody's list, but I can't make you a list. You have to make your own. Learning. If we aren't learning constantly, and if we aren't curious, then what kind of life are you living? And that's how I really see it. And so I'm a lifelong learner. The most interesting people are those who learn. The most interesting people are the ones who recognize mistakes, course correct, the kind of people that I'll kindly say, no thanks, I don't think we're going to hang out, are the ones who know everything. We all know them. We're probably related to some, but ain't gonna happen. So the last thing, it's sharing, right? And I think of that in such a way in what you taught as a child, right? You share with others. If you have something, be open. So everything that I do, projects that I take on, people that I connect with, I have to filter it. Am I making a meaningful connection? Am I going to find humor with someone? Because if I cannot find humor with a potential client or organization, if there isn't humor involved, then it's not a human place for me to work. And I just will politely say no. We have to learn, and then we have to share. So how am I doing, folks? I'm looking here. I've been talking for 19 minutes. I could probably go for the next few hours, but I won't do that to you. I don't know, maybe everybody's kind of left the room. And I'll my last slide here is to say thank you, right? Team Aspiring Better Human has been absolutely a dream come true. I had the thought, had that name, Aspiring Better Human, that I'm able to launch a company with that name, and in the weeks ahead, launch a website that I can speak to what I'm doing, who I am, the offers that I have, the where you can find me, how you can book me for public speaking, all of that to be in something that's my own company is just incredible. And I know none of it could have happened without the encouragement of the people in my life. My husband, my family, my friends, my community, and you guys are just the best. So I will take the presentation away and you'll just get to see me. And I'm going to do something that I wish I had a producer for, but maybe that's in a future version. Maybe year 2 celebrating this company, I'll have a team around me and someone will be prompting me and a little microphone in my ear to tell me what to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go through this, the scroll here, and I really let us know if you're team live or you're watching it on the replay. Let me go down the comments and I'm going to say hello. Please also, if you have any questions, put them in the chat too. So as I attempt to say hello to everybody, oh, there's Will. He was getting his hair done. I was playing with some light. It's a little shiny, but you'll forgive me. We've got Helen from Israel. That's so great. I just love you, Helen. You show up every day and I look forward to your comments. We've got David Hansen. I have you booked. You're coming on the show soon. Everybody, if you need a dose of kindness and being a better person, connect with David. And thank you for being the president of the fan club. Very much appreciated. Michelle, everybody was here with me. Michelle, you were just great. You were just glowing the day you were here. And so appreciated your kindness and your words and always your words of wisdom. On our next catch up, David, Michelle, and I catch up at least twice a month. Boy, I'm keeping a running list, so maybe we need more than 40 minutes. We've got LinkedIn user saying hello, Will. Hello, LinkedIn user. Very glad that you're here. Ramesh, hello everybody. We've got Jason. I don't know if everybody follows Jason, but Jason posts. He's got the most incredible post. It's one sentence, and he just asks a question, and it usually sets my brain on fire. They're easy, but complex. They're short, but makes you stop and think. So everybody should follow Jason because he's just incredible. David, yes, we know you're out in California, and I think I see Grace. Hey, you guys have to meet up. Grace Brady, those of you who've watched the previous episode, she was one of my first guests, the Will and Grace reunion. And we've got to do that in person again, definitely. Come here. You can come in the dining room. We can have drinks or lunch, order a pizza. Akshay, hello, how are you, my friend? Tiu, oh, you are amazing. You're absolutely, positively amazing. We've got Michelle and David. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, David. You always give me the encouragement. I need very little encouragement to set up some equipment and start talking to a camera. But thank you. We've got Bishwante. Good to see you, my friend. Rob. Great to see you. Yeah, and your book too. You've made auditing cool. Everybody, if you're watching, and Rob, you're still here, follow Rob. He's the cool auditor. He's got the most mellow vibe. There was a radio station here in New York, CD 101.9. It was smooth jazz. Rob's got the voice and the vibe that I could just imagine him hosting that show. Really great guy. Erica, my sweet pea from Texas. Erica Warfield, everybody needs to follow Erica because if it weren't, and I've told the story 100 times, so you're probably snoring by now, but I never get tired of talking about it. If I didn't take the call from Erica, I probably wouldn't have known 90% of the people that I know on LinkedIn. She's an uber connector, a super sweetheart, and I just absolutely positively love her. We've got India in the house. I've gotten some more love from Helen. Erica, for a New Yorker, you're definitely not one of those hard-boiled 10-minute eggs. My mother wouldn't let me. Or it wasn't in my DNA. I just never was able to get that. I probably get some of that grit is with my younger brother. He doesn't do social media. I don't know if somebody's going to show him this, but he got the grit in family, Erica. His name is Joe. I was looking for my brother Joe. Joseph, where are you? Joseph Gonzalez. Have to catch the replay. That's TU. Very good. It lives forever. So I just hope everybody gets to enjoy this or pass it along. Yes, the Met is fantastic. We've got Gail. Gail, happy. I've watched you too. You just, it's amazing how, I don't know how some of you do it, but I just see the friendships that are formed. And this chat, I'm looking at it. One of the things that I love about the comments is that friends come together. Maybe you're all having lunch or a snack and saying hello to one another. And we've become a community where we follow one another and watch each other's broadcasts. I think it's fantastic. David's agreeing with my unscripted. I don't think I could do scripted. I'd be a horrible actor. If somebody gave me lines to read, I would just be fired in a minute. Totally. I couldn't do that. We've got David. You really are living up to the the fan club president. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to hear you say that. And you've told me that before, that the name kind of meant something to you. You never know, you put things out there in the world and you just don't know who it's going to resonate with. Oh, my soul sister, Cindy. Cindy, did you see what I did? Look. Look, everybody. I got it a little wrinkled. I think the camera's right. Okay, Cindy's my soul sister from Tennessee. She is going to hook me up with Dolly Parton. See, I got these wonderful gifts of joy in the mail. So if you're not following Cindy, you must. And Cindy's publishing her book called More Joy. Isn't that just a beautiful? Oh, and it kind of matches the screen here. Very good. That wasn't even planned. Cindy, I love you to death and thank you for being so kind. Here, somebody, the LinkedIn user that always pops up, calls you the Queen of Joy. The Queen of Joy has arrived. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And so I'm going through as many comments here as can. Michelle, this is what I was talking about earlier, not dimming your light is so important. Here we've got a fan, Chasen somewhere. Chasen, love you. I missed your comment, but Chasen, you're one of those guys that I look forward to seeing comments every day. And I'm just making sure I'm not missing anybody. Gloria, hi, it's my first time joining you on live. It is giving a good understanding about what we need each other for. Paraphrasing, we are here creating to support thoughts or to be sharing what's on others' minds. If I'm understanding this correctly, or the comment, I appreciate the comment. I find that being able to do this on a daily basis is to really have a community of people that are absolutely supportive of one another, supporting Cindy's book. Someday when I get disciplined enough and write a book, Cindy, I'm going to send you a gift in the mail too, so you could promote it. I would just love to have a shout out from you. Wendy, a fellow New Yorker. There's a connection through humor in every situation. The amount of times we laughed and laughed at your husband, laughed about your husband, laughed with your husband, Stephen, great guy. I can't believe I knew Stephen, I knew you, and we came together through LinkedIn. It's such a strange world, and a wonderful world. I appreciate you, Wendy. Buddy, great to see you. Good morning. Good. I'm so glad we've got more support. I've got my friend Claudia from Portugal. Talk about people in your life and laughter. Oh my God, it's really amazing what the amount of laughter the two of us can generate in one room. Often, or especially around family and friends, people will maybe not even join in because we speak our own language, and I don't even think it has anything to do with words. We can make gestures and just fall apart. It's just absolutely amazing. Thank you, Michelle, for liking the core values. It's just something, if I don't filter everything that I do, I can't be. I am seeing more comments to everybody here, back and forth. Let me see, Joseph, I love the word aspire. It has the same roots as inspiration, which is spirit. So when you aspire, we become aligned with the spirit. the essence of who we are and the infinite loving universe. Oh, that's beautiful, Joseph. Thank you for sharing that. Really, I was drawn to it. All that I'm doing, it's just uh, calling. Director, turn to camera number 3. Are you saying about my director? There, Dave. Oh, we got live. David, Grace. Okay. Slow it down, Will. You are live and we're at time. I'm jumping all over these comments because I'm excited. I don't think I'm going to get to go through all of them here today. I will respond to everybody as much as I can, and I'm just scrolling through quickly. Oh my God, I even got my sister in here. Wow. Hey, Will, great to be here again. I actually broke the family down to actually watch one of these, or not just watch it somewhere on Facebook. Thank you, Teresa. Love you much. Now we just have to get Joseph to do it. Maybe he can watch it from one of the replays. You could forward it to him. Okay. Everyone, we're at 30 minutes. I was afraid that I would have nothing to say, but here I keep talking, and I don't know how to say goodbye. I am taking all of these banners off. I just want to leave you with one thing. Let's see here. My favorite quote, Dolly came in the mail, thanks to Cindy. And favorite quote, find out who you are and do it on purpose. I should make that into a t-shirt. Maybe that should be my company's subtitle, because I really believe that when you are truly in your zone, when you're in your own flow and you figure out what makes you you, then no one can stop you. So if there's one thing that I could do, I hope to be that conduit, that connector, and that communicator here on the platform, and any platform, even in person, to help people find out what makes them tick and just do it. Do it with kindness, do it with purpose, do it with love in your heart. So I have to say goodbye because we're at our half hour. I totally loved it. Next week, we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to have another live broadcast, and Karen Ross, who is a kindness advocate, is going to, she's just amazing. I'll put her comments in the chat too. Her connections in the chat too. She and I are going to talk about kindness, and you should follow her. She's just the real deal, and she speaks to this, and I can't wait to speak to her. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, everybody. Send me messages, send me tips, send me anything you want to send me. I just enjoyed this process, and I appreciate you allowing me to learn and build in public. Until next week, this is Will. Keep it kind. And we're off. Bye, everyone.